Welcome to the Dear Rochester Retire Well podcast with David Pulcini from 6 Point Financial Partners. In this podcast, find your path towards a brighter financial future with David as your guide as he helps individuals, educators, and healthcare professionals explore ways they can build wealth while minimizing risk using a multifaceted, comprehensive approach to personal finance. Are you ready to take the first step towards a brighter financial tomorrow? Let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it today. We have had a number of people ask us some form of the question, what does a first meeting with an advisor look like? And this question has come from podcast listeners that we have not met yet or not yet met, from current clients looking to introduce somebody to us, a family member, a friend, maybe a colleague, and even friends and family members of advisors themselves. They just ask us all the time, what does a first meeting look like when somebody meets with a financial advisor? So if you're a client of ours and you're thinking, I would love to introduce you or your firm, Dave, to my friends or family or coworkers, but I don't know how, just forward that person this podcast. And I think it will answer the question and they'll have a good feel for what we're all about. How much can you take out of your current investments and never run out of money? When is the absolute best time to take Social Security? Are you 100% confident in your investment strategy? Are you paying too much in taxes? Why? If something were to happen to you today, what would they find? If you are doubting any of this and would like a second opinion or to review these items, along with many more, feel free to reach out to us. You can visit us at www.6pointsfp.com or email us at info@6pointfp.com. Back to the show. I'm assuming that if we are being asked about this, there are more people out there with the same question. So I thought it would be a good idea to do an episode on it on its own. And I'm also assuming that people are asking because they may have had an experience with someone in the past where they were bothered or called or sold to, and it was just uncomfortable. So nobody wants it anymore. Nobody wants to be sold to. I certainly do not in any capacity. It's highly uncomfortable to me. So now to take a quick step back, I've been in financial planning since 2003, and I have seen how hundreds of advisors run a first meeting, and I've seen several different styles. So I've also changed my own style over the years, which I can explain. But first, I want to tell you something to avoid. And this is something I was guilty of for myself for the first few years, and many advisors are as well. What I used to do was basically go into a first meeting trying to sell a product. As a new advisor, it was my job at that time to get a certain number of clients each month. And we would meet with people, sometimes 20 plus new meetings per week, and then pitch them on a product. I'd get out the old yellow pad, draw all sorts of things as part of a presentation that we kind of had pre-made. So our job as advisors in a first meeting is to listen and have a conversation, not to do a presentation. So today, to make that clear, we want to listen and have a conversation, it's not a presentation of any kind. If you find yourself in a first meeting, unless it's an absolute emergency situation, you typically do not want to buy or commit to anything. So buyer beware in this situation. If it's someone you just met and they're trying to get you to commit to a long-term financial product or insurance, I'm telling you folks, you should be thinking about it. Instead, here's what I believe and what we believe should happen. And this is how we work now, which is in stark contrast to what I did many years ago. And this is not an advertisement. You might not even actually like what we do, but I'm going to tell you how we run a first meeting at 6 Point. And in my opinion, the first meeting begins way before we as advisors are even aware of it, right? What do I mean by that? Our new clients are listeners like you, or introductions from our current clients, or folks that have attended one of our workshops, or maybe someone who is on our email list. And because of that, most people come into a meeting saying they feel like they already know us. And that's a wonderful thing. Why? If you listen to a podcast or watched a video and then you want to talk, you have basically already decided if you think we can help. And equally important, and if not more important, you like us, right? You're not going to listen to this and say, I don't like that guy, but I should schedule a meeting with him. If that's true, honestly, we can find you somebody else and hook you up with them. But we don't get many folks reaching out after they hear us or see us and say, we don't want to work with you. Not many people have time to waste on that right now. So, okay, back to what the meeting looks like. Someone can book a meeting with us online or by emailing or by calling. And this is true for a lot of the good firms, by the way. So again, this is not an advertisement for 6 Point Financial Partners, but for all good advisors out there. And once that first meeting is set up, we would send an agenda, potentially the questions you should be asking an advisor, and an introduction to our process. That process is called Think About It. And we made it this way and named it accordingly because we never want people that come in to feel pressured in any way ever. Also, this helps us think about it. We don't take every single client that we can. Okay. We take the right clients who we can help and that enjoy meeting with us and us with them. And I think any client of ours would agree with that. And I think that's what folks are looking for. So we don't ever want anybody to see our name come up in the calendar and think, oh no, I have that meeting with Dave coming up. I don't want to go see that guy. He talks too much and he's boring, but I guess I have to. That is not a good fit. So again, this is also a two-way street. We don't want to feel the same way when we see somebody's name in the calendar. So it's almost like a dating before you get married. We want to make sure it's a good fit, right? Also, if a prospective client comes in and we think they are a perfect fit for another advisor, we will happily introduce them to that advisor because we know it's a long-term relationship and that's what should happen. So again, a step back. The first meeting is set. You already feel that you know us. You have seen our videos, you've heard our podcasts, and now you have an agenda. You've come into the office, or maybe we meet virtually. Either one is fine. And I want to be completely open and transparent. So maybe after some small talk and letting you know that everything is confidential.
A quick interruption. 6 Point Financial Partners is taking on new clients. If you would like to take the next step in planning your future with Dave or the 6 Point team, please visit them at www.6pointfp.com to schedule a time or reach out via LinkedIn, Facebook, or simply find us on the internet by searching 6 Point Financial Partners. Okay, back to the show.
Then I will ask these questions. This is exactly what I would ask every time. What brings you in today? Or what financial concerns do you have? Then you would tell us. Okay. From there, I always want to ask, have you worked with an advisor before? What did you like about what that advisor did for you? And what do you think they could have done better? That's it. That is typically it for the first meeting. And most people that we meet with have plenty to say about those first few questions, and that keeps us busy. And then we can talk a little bit about what we do and how we would work. But I think after those questions are asked, you get a good feel for if we should move forward on to the next meeting. And I'm telling you, folks, in thousands of first meetings, we almost always hear the same 3 or 4 things. Once in a while, there's an outlier, but I can pretty much guess exactly what you are going to say. And I'll give you the most common just for fun. So you guys all know what other people are saying. I love that the advisors set me up with an account. That's what I liked. They got me going in my retirement. They set me on the right path, and they got the proper amount of life insurance. I guess for improvements, maybe they could have talked about all of my financial planning, Social Security, retirement, getting my will and estate planning done, maybe done some tax stuff. But I don't feel that they covered everything. And maybe I've outgrown what they're doing, Dave. I don't know. Also, I never really hear from that advisor in any meaningful way. Okay. That's very typical. I set all my stuff up. I'm not sure I'm getting everything done for me. And I really never hear from them in a meaningful way. So after we go through this, we can make a pretty good decision on if we can help and if we're a good fit. So then I would walk through our process, our communications calendar, our service model. How do we take care of our clients? And then the questions they should be asking me. Okay. We show what a sample plan of ours would look like. And many of us show what it looks like to have all of the financial information on one page. Okay. When this is covered, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a sales pitch. It's a consultation. It's a fit meeting, right? It's let's see if we can help, if we enjoy meeting with each other, and if you like what we show you. That is what a professional advisor does. I'm not allowed to say guarantee about anything as an advisor, but if I could, I would say this. I can almost guarantee that after 1 hour of meeting with anyone, a great advisor can help them in some way financially with their plan. I have yet to run into someone on a first meeting where we could not add tremendous value. I totally mean that. And this means one of two things. One, folks that show up need help in some way, but don't know it yet. Or two, the people that are truly 100% absolutely certain that they have everything covered aren't meeting with us, right? So those people aren't coming in because they're all set, which that also makes sense. So let me give you another warning. In a first meeting, many advisors are concerned about how much money you have. Okay, that's just the truth. That's what people talk about. Or how much you can spend on insurances. I'm telling you, those advisors are sitting there calculating how much they are going to make if they can get you to buy something. There are advisors out there right now nodding in agreement, or they're mad at me for saying it out loud. It's sad, but it's true. They are looking at your $100,000 or your $1 million, and they're thinking, how much am I going to make if I close this deal? And they're in their head calculating, I'm going to get $3,250 or whatever it is. They are not thinking about how to best utilize a comprehensive strategy for you and your money. I only say this because if you meet with an advisor, maybe it will help you recognize the motives. I'm a big proponent of knowing what's going on and transparency. So sometimes advisors are thinking that. So a real firm, no matter the assets or the money that you have, won't even blink an eye if you show up with $10,000 or $100 million. The process is the same. The first meeting is the same. Those questions I asked are exactly the same. And the things that we do afterward, if you have 10,000 or 100 million, are most likely very different. And actually, no two situations are exactly the same. But the first meeting, 99 times out of 100, is exactly the same. And it comes down to the things I keep saying. Are we a good fit for each other? And can we help? Okay. By the end of that first meeting, a prospective client of our firm will walk out or log off, I guess, saying one of two things. I really like them and I want to take the next step, or I think I'm all set and I feel good about what I'm doing. And in either case, honestly, we are glad to help. And so are the good firms out there. So what is that next step? It is typically gathering details on your financial situation, going over your goals in more detail and beginning to build the one-page document and the plan. And you can learn about the one-page document that I keep referencing in episode 33 of Dear Rochester, Retire Well. If you go back to that, one thing that I use is called an asset map, and it gets everything on one page, all your financials, and it's very easily organized. So if you want to be added to our email list, where you will get monthly videos and podcasts sent to you, you'd get 2 to 3 emails from us, or you think it's a time to schedule that first meeting, you can go to our website, www.sixpointfp.com, fill out the inquiry to let us know what you were looking for. And again, we'll never bother you, harass you, spam you, email you to death, any of that stuff. Or you can simply email us at info@sixpointfp.com, or find me, David Pulcini, CFP, on LinkedIn, and I can get you pointed in the right direction with me, one of our advisors, or whomever we think is the best possible fit for you. But that's it, folks. Make it a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Dear Rochester Retire Well podcast. Click the subscribe button below to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of 6 Point Financial Partners. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.
Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc., APFS, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through American Portfolios Advisors, Inc., APA, an SEC-registered investment advisor. 6 Point Financial is not affiliated with APFS and APA. This material is for informational purposes only. Neither APFS nor its representatives provide tax, legal, or accounting advice. Please consult your own tax, legal, or accounting professional before making any decisions.